Welcome to Luverne High School football. It's the next to the last stop on the road to Birmingham. This is the semifinals of the high school state 2A playoffs. We're in Highland home, just 11 miles from Luverne, and this will determine which of the two teams will win the Crenshaw County Bowl. That's right, two teams from Crenshaw County fight to go to Birmingham. Tonight, Luverne High School Tigers fight the Highland home Squadron, and the winner goes to the SuperSix in Birmingham, Alabama next Saturday afternoon. The spirit's high. I'm over here with the cheerleaders, and they're ready to cheer. Girls, are we going to win tonight?
Yeah!
All right, let's have a big cheer. Lead the crowd. Let's get this thing fired up. Are we ready? Well, there you have it, folks. We'll kick off in just a little bit. It won't be long. Luverne comes in after winning right here just a few weeks ago, 21-2, and what that game means nothing. Tonight is everything. We'll be back for kickoff.
Drum Major Robin Durant, is your band ready? You will now take the field for pregame performance. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we take a trip through the South. We start our journey in the state of Old Dominion, Virginia, home of the Arlington National Cemetery and our first president, then travel to the Carolinas, home of our first flight. Venture into the volunteer state of Tennessee, home to Nashville and the Appalachian Mountains. destinations are found in the Delta area of the South, Mississippi and Louisiana, home to Steamboats and Jazz. Next, we'll slow down as we head into the peach state of Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, all destinations found in the heart of Dixie, the good state of Alabama.
ready for a classic. We're here on the hill, Highland Home High School, with a record of 10-3 against the 11-2 Luverne High School Tigers. They're preparing to kick off. The seniors are on the field. I'm Jim Perdue, and I'm here with Ray Hilburn and cameraman Marty Ward. Ray, I say it every week, it's a great night for football. There's a chill in the air, there's electricity in the air. Crenshaw County Bowl, we're very fortunate. Both schools in the high school state 2A semifinals. You couldn't ask for a better event in Crenshaw County.
Yeah, you couldn't pick a better atmosphere, Jim. I tell you, a great crowd here tonight. 16 miles apart these two communities are, and here they are in the semifinals of the 2A playoffs. Like I say, we've got two teams here tonight. Highland Home with a 10-3 record. Have really been on a roll this year at the end of the year. Really have gotten better and better each week. Luverne played them early in the year, defeated them up here, but since that time, they have either won 6 or 7 straight games. Really been on a roll. I think peaked last week. I hope that they peaked last week against Cottonwood with an outstanding game. Luverne is still up and down a little bit. Struggled some, still had some injuries, but look for them tonight to really peak here tonight, and this is for all the marbles, as I say tonight, Jim. You talking about the weather. This is hockey weather. This ain't football weather to me, I tell you. They could break out a hockey stick any time up here.
Well, it's a perfect night here. We've got a large crowd, balloons, bands. Anybody who cares anything about football in Crenshaw County is here. Either that or they've got the cold that everybody else has been fighting. But even those that are sick are here, right? It's unbelievable. They brought in extra bleachers. They've got stands in the end zone we didn't see earlier in the year. I talked to Senator Mitchell today. He came down and brought them a little help, some money that they needed to help pay for some of the expenses, and we're really appreciative of that. And that's helped get some of the bleachers here. The field is much browner than it was before early in the year. Our viewers can see that. They put some Stay Dry on the field, and that kind of has turned it a little browner. But we need to make this as good a field as possible, and everybody's chipping in. And it looks like we're in for a great night.
Oh, it's going to be a great night for football, no doubt about it. Highland Home is going to receive the opening kickoff, Jim. Luverne will be on defense. Remember the earlier game in the year, Luverne had about 11 offensive plays the entire first half. Even though they'd been dominated that much in the first half, they led 7-2 at halftime. Highland Home had 2 costly turnovers in the first half. So again tonight, we may see a difference in this ball game being turnovers tonight.
That's always the case. We're down to the next to the last stanza, and we'll be kicking off very shortly. Boy, this Highland Home Squadron fan is fired up tonight.
Jim, look for it. If Highland Home comes out and gets a good drive this first time and gets some points, we're in for a ball game. Hopefully Luverne can control field position, stop Highland Home early. They get key field position and get an early score, take this crowd out of the ball game.
That's what would be the key. The key is going to be, as always, field position and turnovers. Both of these teams are capable of quick strikes. They've got to keep the opponent cornered and keep them on the opposite end of the field. This is not going to be a slugfest up the middle type running game. This is going to be wide open show and go football.
Yeah, both teams are blessed with abundant amount of speed, Jim. Not only offensively but defensively also. Even though you may be in the open, any of these guys on each team's defense can certainly catch up with you and make a big play. Jim, and the good thing about this, Jim, is that no matter what, there's going to be a team from Crenshaw County in the finals of the 2A playoffs. That's something that we can all be proud of.
Yeah, Ray, you know, I've heard people from both sides of the county say, I'm going to be in Birmingham next week regardless.
That's
We've
right.
come too far. Highland Home goes. There's a lot of people from Luverne will go up and watch them and support them.
Oh, that's right.
Luverne goes. There'll be a lot of people in blue up there to see them play and also give them the support. This isn't anything but good football. And here we go.
That's a good start.
Deep kick, and it's in the end zone, and it is a dead ball.
Big play. They'll start from their own 20-yard line, so that'll make Highland drive 80 yards for their first score. But and it's been a big play all year, Jim. The kicking game for Luverne has certainly been a big asset.
Shannon Samples boots it deep, takes the ball out of the offense from the start, forces them to the 20. Chess game begins. Luverne has field position.
We'll see how Luverne opens, Jim. In the opening game up here, Luverne opened in the 5-3, but in the second half, it went to the 4-4 defense and really did well. And it looks like in tonight they're going to start in the 4-4, which they played the second half of the earlier game up here.
First snap runs to the left side. Boom. Hit real hard down about the 22-yard line. Shoves it on out to the 23. 3-yard gain.
Jim, again, we're having a hard time picking up the numbers here tonight.
That may have been 32. If you can't see it, we got us a monitor. Marty Ward has even brought high-tech.
Oh, we're high-tech. Even though we're low-tech announcers, we got high-tech equipment here. But it's still a big gain there of about 3.5 yards on that first down carry that time. So
that was just a straight right dive by the tailback straight into the heart of the line. Highland Home comes back with a split backfield and a slot formation right. Instead, they hand it straight back again up the middle, and he's tackled. Luckily, the players were able to find the ball because I lost it. Marty was there as always, and a gain of about 3 more.
And that was Dakia Sankey who carried the ball in the first carry also, Jim. That's 2 carries in a row for Sankey. They're testing the middle of that line of Luverne. Now it's going to bring up a big play for Highland Home. 3rd and about 3.5 yards to go.
3rd and 3.5. Ball is at about the 27-yard line. Since the ball was kicked in the end zone, obviously they have to break the 30-yard line when it's down.
Let's see if Coach Giddens chooses to go to the air here on this big 3rd down play. They
don't. Straight inside. He's hit hard. Boom!
Big number 22, Pat Campbell, that time makes initial contact, and he's
Judson Bowen, my man, is there, and Mel Willis polish him off.
But Coach Giddens decided to play it safe that time and just try to catch him on the left side after going twice to the right side. And
what Highland Home's doing, Ray, is they're splitting 2 men all the way out to the far sideline or the near sideline.
Trying to spread the defense
and that
out.
takes 2 defenders completely out of the potential.
What your down lineman has to do is control that, and that's exactly what Pat Campbell did that time. He held his position that time, and Pat met him at the line of scrimmage. Rodney Lowry back deep for Luverne.
Almost blocked.
Number
6 punts has a real high kick. Gets a decent roll for Highland Home, but it squashes down on the Highland Home into the field at the 47.
Jim, just as you talked about, field position is going to be such a key to the game, and couldn't work out for Luverne better. They kicked off to Highland, made them start on the 20, did not give up a first down, and here they are. Excellent field position on Highland Home's side of the field.
Thomas Monk, the punter there, had to kind of short leg that ball.
And he's an excellent punter, too. Monk's had a great year punting the ball for Highland Home this year, but that time just didn't get one of his best efforts off.
64, Brad Watts, first man to touch the ball. He's a center.
Here we come out in a single back offense, Jim. 1 back offense.
1 tight end, double wide outs, hand straight inside. He's got a little room. Gains maybe 2 yards on the play.
Tackle that time by number 22, Kunta June, that time for Highland Home. But Luverne comes out in a new offense that time with a 1 back offense. Cecil Jackson was at tight end that time on this side.
That's strange looking at with Cecil on the line. Cecil hurt his leg last week, unable to play past the middle of the 3rd quarter. But he's in here tonight. Everybody that wants to play is out there on that field, I guarantee you.
2nd and 9.
Fake inside to the middle. Wants to throw. Keon Carter's under pressure. He's got some room. He dives back to the 50-yard line. Heavy pressure. Showed a great heady play there by being able to avoid the pressure, but Highland Home was relentless in their pursuit.
Number 60, Herbert Diller, was in there to make the play that time on Keon Carter, but he was under heavy pressure that time as he dropped back to pass. And let's give credit to that Highland Home secondary that time. Good coverage from the secondary of Highland Home.
3rd and 12, a loss of yardage, gained about 2 on the first play, nothing on the second, and now a loss of about 3 or 4. Keon Carter wants to pass. He's got room. He's got time. He's got Willis open. Wide open. Willis lost the ball.
Pickett turned. Pickett looked over his outside shoulder, and the ball was coming over his inside shoulder. That time he lost about 2 steps.
I'm sorry, I call that Willis 9 and 8 with age on my eyes like it is. I thought that was 8. That was Fernando Pickett. Lost the ball, turned over the wrong shoulder, turned back, unable to get back under it.
Pretty pass that time by Keon Carter. Nice spiral that time. Had time to throw the ball that time.
Shannon Samples back to punt. He's at about his own 38-yard line. Good snap. Good high wobble spiral. Ball comes down. It's going to roll in Luverne's favor. And, boy, I tell you what,
this is a great kick.
It's going to be super.
That is going to be a 43-yard kick for Shannon Samples, Jim. You couldn't ask for anything better. That 43-yard punt that is dead on the Highland Home 3-yard line.
That pins them back. Field position, turnovers. Here we go again, Ray. We say it every week, but it seems like it gets bigger and bigger as the games get bigger. And Luverne plays the chess match a little better so far than they did earlier in the game.
And again, we've seen the kicking game be the difference in this game so far, and so far Luverne has had the advantage as far as the kicking game is going.
1st and 10, Highland Home. Ball on their own 3-yard line.
Jimmy, you
stays into 4-4.
Saw basic handoffs on that first series of down for Highland. Remember, this Jason Bowen is just a magician with the ball.
And he is a super magician. I'm not sure they even had a ball out there, Ray.
The give again that time was to 12, Sankey, right off the right side that time. Not much room for Sankey there, really no gain, maybe even lost a half a yard on that play.
Boy, he is terrific with that ball. That's Jason
Bowen, cousin of Judson Bowen, but he does a great job with the ball. We don't want to get him outside on us, I'll tell you that.
He keeps that ball one time out there like he did then. He's got it all.
And that's what they're basically doing. You say, why don't they just keep running the ball at the middle? Sooner or later, he's going to pull that ball out, take it outside, and they're looking for the big play.
Jason Bowen squats under center. Hands to number 12.
Again.
Boy, he's hit several times.
That's Mel Willis leading the charge that time. Willis, Deshaun McGee, Rayon Willis. All hit out on the top.
Lowry, number 51, in early. What that also tells you, Ray, is Luverne just gives up the deep play. Willis is playing safety.
He's
there. He's biting on it early.
He's leaving the cornerbacks just man-to-man that time on the outside, and Willis is coming up to help out on the run.
3rd down and 10. Maybe a loss of a half a step. Ball still down about the 3-yard line. Highland Home shuffling the plays in from the sidelines, and they got a long way to run it. And what that does, Ray, is it eats into the clock. They have to be very careful.
I've been saying they've run a lot of time off this clock and getting this play in.
Bowen under center. Again, kind of a cross play, hands inside.
Hasn't got much room.
My man's there.
That's 26.
No, that's Heath Lowry. Heath Lowry, Mr. Everything. Comes inside, makes a stab, tackles him for no gain. 4th and 10, ball still at the 3.
Yeah, 26, Michael Berry on the carry that time for Highland Home. I think that's his first carry of the night. But like I say, Luverne is held. That's 2 possessions now. Luverne is held. And Mr. Monk doesn't have a whole lot of room back there in the end zone. It needs to be a good snap, because if he ends up taking a half a step back, Jim, he stepped out of the end zone.
Thomas Monk with his foot almost out of the end zone. Kind of a weak snap. He gets it away. This ball's going out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
So therefore, they gain about 7 yards from the last
Luverne gains 7 toward the end zone. But with 6:19 left to play in the first period, there's still no score here in the semifinals of the high school 2A state playoffs.
Well, Jim, you can't really fault Coach Giddens for what he's done. You say, well, boy, he's being mighty conservative. Well, what you don't want to do is take any chances deep in your own territory and turn the ball over and give Luverne the advantage. So he's willing to just wait to see if he gets a break later on.
Right you are. I backfield now. Luverne comes out with an eye, hand straight inside, hits the line, dives through. Gain of about 4 yards on the play, and that is the deuce.
Yeah, big hit that time by 50, Robert Johnson for Highland Home, but Lowry just bumps off him and still gains about 4 or 5 yards after the initial contact. Big hit that time for Johnson, just didn't lock up, and that's such a key to these high school players. They want to all get big hits, but you have to lock up after you make the hit, such a key.
Staying in the eye. Keon Carter's the quarterback. Hands to the first man inside.
That's
Cecil
Jackson.
the Diesel Jackson blows through, and he gets close to the first down.
Yeah, it's going to be bringing up about a 3rd and 2 situation now for the Luverne offense. And you just wonder how good that ankle of Keon Carter's is, Jim, because you know what would happen here probably if he had a lot of confidence in Keon's ankle, the option would be coming probably right here.
That's right.
So this will tell
down,
us.
But this close to the 30, we're actually close to 2-down territory.
Probably are. Like I say, too close in to punt, too far out to try to field goal.
Staying in the eye.
He's got the first down on a quick pass if he just tried, Jim. Yeah, he checks off.
He throws it.
He drops. Jim, good read. Good read that time by Keon Carter. The defensive backs were about 8-10 yards back, and I knew the quick pass would get the first down easy, but
threw it a little low, down around ankle high.
He tried to pick it up. Run a little bit before he got the ball in, Pickett did that time. But like I say, I'm sure Luverne will go for it here now. And this could be the key that Highland Home's looking for here now. If they stop Luverne, then they'll change this field position around a little bit.
They've gained 27 yards in the match. That's why, Ray.
That's why this is such a key play here for Luverne to keep the first down. Even if they don't score later on, it's going to give them the field position still advantage.
Staying in the eye. Keon Carter, quarterback, may have had some motion.
Blitz is on.
Screen, tackle, no conversion.
Number 7, Wilson on the tackle that time for Highland. They read it all the way, Jim. That screen play has been the bread and butter play of Luverne this whole season, and I think Coach Giddens had them prepared for it.
He sure did. Highland Home takes over. Earlier they're on the 3, now they're on the 34. That's a gain of 31 yards in that possession.
Also, Jim, let's give credit that time to Johnson again. He came in quick on the blitz that time, and he really made Keon hurry the ball a little more than what he wanted to that time. Didn't give time for the screen to set up.
First and 10, 4:59 left in the first period. Highland home takes
Give
over.
to Barry, and there's our man, Heath Lowry.
Mr. Everything bowers his way through. Looked like that armadillo I talked about last week. Scooted up underneath an 18-wheeler and grabbed him in the backfield. Heath Lowry's back.
Jim, leadership is such a key when you get this deep in the playoffs and all. And certainly, I think Heath Lowry is taking it on his shoulder and say, hey, I'm going to be the leader of this team. Y'all get on my back, and I'll tote you.
He certainly was a spark last week. A very uninspired Luverne Tiger team went up to Montgomery Academy, and he brought the team around, and all the way to the point with a few seconds left.
He wasn't going to allow him to lose. Second and 10.
Single wings formation. Quarterback Bowen rolls out. He's got some room.
That's what we've been looking for.
First down. Ball's loose. Let's see what they call.
I think they say he's down, Jim.
They can call him down. You're right, Ray.
Great block that time on the corner on Sherrod Wood. Sherrod Wood was there ready to make the play, and he got Bowen got a great block by one of his teammates that time to spring him. We talked about it earlier. Highland home constantly running up the middle. Sooner or later he's going to fake it. And that's what Bowen did that time and got good yardage.
That was just a student body blocking pattern. They put everybody out there in that wing formation, and they run everybody at the corner. And somebody's got to step up, blow in, and take him out of it. But it wasn't there this time. Gains about 8 yards.
It's going to be 3rd and 2. I think Bowen may have been shaking up a little bit on that hit, Jim. He's coming off a little bit wobbly. He sure is.
Number 10 may have to come off the field.
Coach Giddens very smartly calls a timeout that time and going to try to make sure Bowen's all right.
Ray, I took a survey around town, and we do have several people watching the game. I know it for a fact because they've been going by and seeing the folks at Pepsi-Cola and thanking them.
Well, great.
William Petrie and John Harrison said he's had several. Tomorrow at the Christmas parade in Luverne, go by First Citizens and tell them we appreciate it.
Do we get a raise for that or anything?
Yeah, we're going to
double our
salary again.
Great.
Superfoods, when you're in town and you're going to buy that Christmas turkey, go by and see John Wilson and tell him you appreciate it. But if you're right here in Highland Home, I mean, really within 100 yards of here is one of Tom Russell Oil Amicos that is also in Luverne and Troy. And go by and see them. And, of course, if you're looking for some good timberland or a house, go by and see John Allen Butler and the family and all Tiger supporters down there at Butler Timber and Realty Company and tell them you appreciate it. And we're just glad to be here.
Jim, we appreciate all the sponsors. They sure are. They're always good. Most of all those guys, whatever you ask them, they do more than what you ask. And we appreciate it. It looks like that we are going to have a new quarterback in the game, Jim. It looks like Santonio Nichols will be in for Bowen. He's a sophomore quarterback, 5'6", 140. So it's a lot of pressure on the young sophomore.
Tight, two-man backfield split. Backfield ball's on the ground.
And, boy, he's close to the first down. If he gets it, Judson Bowen comes up with the ball.
Let's see what the call is.
And it is Luverne's ball.
Luverne has the ball. My man, Judson Bowen, steps up. Always happens when you change quarterbacks.
Well, Jim, that's just a tough situation to put a sophomore quarterback in on his very cold night. That ball just bounces right back off his hand. And doubly unfortunate for Highland Home, the ball goes forward, and Judson Bowen is there to pounce on it.
Linebacker position, Judson Bowen does, and he covers it, and he comes up. He's standing up with it when they're looking for it.
Judson Bowen's Johnny on the spot. He's the first one to come up, hands it to the officials before the officials even have a chance to look for the ball. So again, field position the key. Luverne in great field position again. Hand
to the second man. The Deuce has it. He picks his way through. He gains about 3 tough yards to about the 40-yard line.
Initial contact by Palmer, the outstanding linebacker for Highland Home. Jim, he's led this team in tackles. Him and Barry all year have been outstanding from the linebacker position.
3.5 minutes or less in the first period, still 0-0. Ray, this is very much like the first visit up here on the hill.
Tough defensive battle, and it kind of opened up the second half a little bit. So, again, neither one of these coaches want to make the first mistake, and now Highland Home has. Let's see if Luverne can take advantage of it.
Second down and about 7. Throw out pass to Willis.
He's got some room.
He's going to be close to the first. He's got the first across to the 30-yard line, and he's hit by a host of blue shirts.
Well, Jim, I think Luverne will keep setting this up. If they keep giving them this much room, these cornerbacks do, they're going to continue to do that, and then all of a sudden when they catch them sneaking up, they're going to go deep.
You're right. First down. Is that the first down of the ball game?
First down of the ball game by either side. That's exactly right.
So with 2:55, a little under 3 minutes in the ball game, Luverne makes the first down to the 30.
And this is also the deepest penetration of either team here now, so we're down to the Highland Home 30-yard line.
Well, the ball really hadn't crossed midfield. It's all been on the blue end of the field. Hand straight inside. Not much room there.
These Highland Home Squadron defense is really hitting. They're playing great ball. There's 82, the initial contact that time. Jordan also helped out by 50, Johnson. but they're being very stingy in the middle of that line, Jim.
Luverne's line been a very smart line, done real good this year. Brad Watts, Judson Bowen, Brock Sims, Bobo Lowry, and who's on the far side?
Carlos Walters.
Carlos Walters.
And Buck Jones at tight end.
Wants to pass. He's got some room across the middle. He's got
Pickett wide open.
Pickett's there.
It's
touchdown. Tigers score in the north and south end of the end zone, all along number 9. Fernando Pickett makes the first run.
Big key to that is Mel Willis. Mel Willis starts on the far side. 2 men go with him across the middle, and that leaves Pickett one-on-one with the linebacker, and no linebacker can stay with Fernando Pickett.
6-0. Here comes the trio. Who's the snapper tonight, Ray?
Justin Rowland is back.
Justin Rowland is back. Heath Lowry, the holder, Mr. Everything, and Shannon Samples, number 60, to kick. The snap. It's placed. It's up. And it is good.
Yeah,
the Tigers lead 7-0.
Yeah, the trifecta's
with 2:09. The trifecta's back.
Justin Rowland, Heath Lowry, and Shannon Samples. That great trifecta has been there all year.
Shannon Samples to kick. This one's going to be a little short of the end zone. Be fielded about the 5-yard line. A little confusion. Goes to the inside. Look at there. Heath Lowry came in and cuts him down at about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, 26, Michael Berry on the return that time. Shannon Samples, even though he didn't get quite as deep, got a lot of height to that kick, and then allowed big Heath Lowry. And I tell you, Jim, he's not a fast guy. I can tell you what, he was 10 yards past everybody else that time.
That Heath is pumped up. Set to defense. 4-4 defense again.
4-4 defense. Got Rayon Willis, Crandall Stout, the tackles, Bobo Lowry, and Campbell at the ends.
Jolly good run. Really a good block out there, and also Luverne set the blocker up, and the running back ran right into the rear of him. And I hate not to call a number, but I missed every one of them.
Jim, Jason Bowen is back in at quarterback, so that's a good thing to see that he is. He just took a hard lick on that fumble that on the run he made a while ago, so it's good to see him back in the ball game.
Yeah,
he's a great kid.
He is a super kid.
To finish out the defensive side of the ball for Luverne, their 4 linebackers are Heath Lowry, Deshaun McGee, Sherrod Wood, and Judson Bowen.
Here they go again, Ray. Look at this out band way out here in the almost out of bounds.
Exactly.
Good room.
That's the give to Berry.
Berry squirts out to about the 25. It's going to be about 3 yards, maybe 4 short of the first down.
Brought down by Sherrod Wood and Mel Willis. And to finish off the defensive unit for Luverne, at the corners right now are Terry McGee, 87, and Rodney Lowry, number 2, and at the safety, the ever-present Mel Willis. You'll also see at the corners tonight, Pickett, some at cornerback. You also see Keon Carter probably even some at cornerback tonight.
Palmer in for Sankey. Staying with a split backfield. Bowen back in at quarterback. Luverne wants to...
Changing the cadence this time.
Yeah, they sure are. They want to jump.
That's to give to Berry.
He's got the first down.
No.
Close.
Great tackle that time by Mel Willis. He was right at that first down mark, and I believe he still may have it, Jim.
Let's see. It's going to be close
great
enough.
Tackle by Mel Willis.
First down. Highland Home makes the first down with 32 seconds out to the 29-yard line.
Still not great field position, though. If Luverne will blow their back up, hold them here, they should have the ball in good field position. So Highland Home still needs 3 or 4 more first downs before they really feel comfortable.
Super read by Mel Willis. Blows in, almost cuts him down in time. But I tell you, DeBerry does a great job of running that football.
Oh, he's got a lot of speed, Jim. Sankey, Berry, Palmer, all 3 have a lot of speed in that Highland Home backfield. Again, you see what they're doing. 2 wides, just trying to take them out of the play. And then they run the ball in the middle.
Straight up the middle, gains about 3 yards on the play. And what they're doing is they're taking 2 men, the Deuce and number
Mel
11.
Both. Deshaun
McGee out.
And that time the give was to Palmer up the middle. And that's going to be
first period.
Be the last play of the first quarter, but Luverne leading 7-0.
First play of the second period. Luverne leads 7-0.
Jim,
this is second down and 1 to go.
And this is the first time we've been on that end of the field, Jim.
It ain't 2nd and 1. It's 2nd and 7.
As Bowen on the keeper.
Bowen keeps it, rolls out, good pursuit.
Crandall Stout made first contact with Bowen, but he's able to get away from him, and then he's finally finished off by 11, Deshaun McGee.
And Heath Lowry's there These guys all know each other. You know, you see them and they speak to each other when they get up, pat each other on the head, and tell them to take another shot. Come on, let's play some more. So it brings up 3rd and 7. No gain on the play. Big play here for Highland Home. Ray, we talked during the break just now about how they may have to try something to break this game open for them.
Yeah, it does.
Luverne has held them to really inside of maybe 30 yards at this point, maybe down to 25.
Yeah, they haven't been able to break any kind of a big play. It's supposed to have been 3, 4, 5 yards, except for the one play by Bowen.
Bowen's doing a little discussion with the backfield. And we have a flag on the play. This could be big, Ray.
It looks like it's going to back Highland Home up, Jim.
Yeah, this they didn't need this right here. This was going to be a 3rd and 3, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 8.
And Jim, you really, like I say, Coach Giddens would not want to be putting the ball in the air, especially in a 3rd and long situation. He'd rather be putting the ball in the air on a 1st down or 2nd down play when he can catch Luverne by surprise. He knows the speed of this Luverne secondary, and he knows they really go after the ball. Terry McGee has just really been a headhunter this year, even though he hadn't played very much. He's had 5 interceptions in very limited playing. Mel Willis had 8 interceptions all year.
Missed that again, Ray. It was 3rd and 5, now it's 3rd and 10. Hands and keep, boy, I tell you what.
He's got a lot of room. He's off to the races.
A real foot race, drives it all the way down to the 32-yard line. Big 3rd and 10 play.
Inside reverse that time, number 2, Gary Merriweather that time. He got around the corner and had a lot of room that time. I didn't see who finally brought him down from Luverne. Was it Rodney Lowry from his cornerback
number
position?
Number 2 is who it was.
Yeah, Rodney Lowry finally brought him down, but big play. That's the big play Coach Giddens has been looking for. Now he's down here in Luverne territory. He can take a few chances.
There you go, Ray. 1st and 10, balls on the 34-yard line, and Lowry had to give it everything he had to stay with that young man.
Yeah, Merriweather showed a real burst of speed that time once he made it around the corner that time. We've talked about before, the one way you can really handle Coach Daniel defenses sometimes is a little counter-type play or misdirection play sometimes.
Bowen keeps hands straight inside, right side, number 26, Berry, and he gains a couple of yards. You'll see some knock it and grind it football now.
Tackled by 66, Justin Bowen, and 11, Deshaun McGee.
2nd down and 9, gains 1 the hard way.
But really and truly, like I say, Coach Giddens now can take a few chances. If you turn the ball over here, at least you make Luverne drive the length of the field. But when you're deep down in your territory, you don't want to give them anything easy. So
one break down there. Earlier, Highland Home makes a mistake. This time, Luverne's pursuit was a mistake, and they responded, taking that first handoff, and it was really a clean inside reverse.
Oh, yes. And probably Luverne back on the heels a little bit looking for the pass that time. Here's Bowen back for his first pass attempt.
First pass of the game. He floats it out, and it's tipped, and that was the one that Luverne's been looking for. That's what happened earlier in the year. Tip passes like this resulted in interceptions, and it took the sting out of good field position.
Good play call that time. Really, Wilson was out in the flats, had some room out there open. Bowen delivers the ball to him pretty well, but Wilson just not able to hold on to it, Jim. And we may talk about tonight, this weather may play a factor in this game for these receivers trying to bring the ball in.
My hands are cold. I don't know how theirs
I'd hate to have a football hitting against my fingers right now.
I tell you, it's 3rd and 9. It's really 2-down territory here, though. They'll go from 4th down.
Has to give to Berry.
Berry pushes, drives.
Good sure tackle that time.
Yards and
by guess who? Your man, Justin Bowen. He makes those sure tackles.
Bowen lives closer to Highland Home than he does Luverne, and he knows everybody up here, and they know him.
He said he's had a tough week this week. They have really ragged him.
He said he may have to move to California if the score ends up the wrong way.
Another big 4th down decision here for Coach Giddens. They're going for it. They're splitting Wilson out wide left.
There's Pickett out to cover him.
Merriweather on this wing back position where he ran the reverse a while ago, so watch out for him. Also Berry on the other wing. Here's Merriweather in motion.
Do that reverse. They fake it this time. Want to throw it. Got the man open. Intercepted on 4th down. Yes.
By Pickett. He really should have dropped the ball, Jim. We lost some field position on that play by him intercepting the ball.
Pickett intercepts inside the 15. The ball would have been spotted at about the 27-yard line had he not caught it.
But it's hard to tell young kids not to react. It's just natural reaction to go for the ball. But really a good call again by Highland Home, Jim. They had 2 men out to the right side after the pass, 2 to the left side. Bowen rolled right, tried to throw against the grain to the other side, and really just overthrew his receiver on that side.
Kind of floated that one too, Ray. Knows that ball never turned over, and it was easy pickings. Our backfield, double wide outs to the short side of the field.
Well, Buck Jones gets a little bit of an early start that time. He's going to back Luverne up 5 and make them go deep from their own territory. Again, We see the difference in field position, though, Jim. Coach Giddens took a chance, had a turnover, but at least he's got Luverne backed up now. Now this changes Luverne's offense a little bit.
On a big third down play earlier in the quarter, Highland Home does run that inside reverse. And had they not made that, had that not converted, they would have punted, and this ball would be around midfield.
That's exactly right. So we've had a change in field position here, but Luverne really would love to just be able to grind this ball out now, get it in for a score, and eat up most of the second quarter now. You know, Luverne's already had the ball more of this first half already than what we had in the earlier game up here this year.
Absolutely. Not counting punts, it was down to about 11 snaps on offense.
That's exactly right. Carter brings them up now. We got Jackson and Lowry in the backfield. Pickett and Willis both split wide left.
Keon Carter under center. Brad Watts is a man. Snaps, wants to throw the inside pass. Kind of a dangerous pass here. Incomplete pass call. That's dangerous because the referee can actually call that.
You want to make sure it's forward. That's right. But that was the one earlier was backwards. Now that one was forward. So it's something you really have to watch. You want to make sure he doesn't drop too far back, or at least the quarterback drops back enough where he is still a forward pass. In case he misses it, you don't have that turnover there.
Second down and 15 due to illegal procedure call.
Still not a bad call that time, though, Jim, because they're still giving Male about 10 to 12 yards out here. And you got to make them come up a little bit.
You're right, Ray. They still got that much room on him.
They give to Jackson.
Cecil. Cecil breaks through, gains about 7 yards on the play.
Give Shannon Sample a little bit of kicking room here, Jim.
But it'll be third down, third and about 7.
Third and about 8, probably, yeah. So if Luverne doesn't get the first down here, at least they got a little bit of room for Shannon Sample.
One more factor in the weather's come up, and the wind's picked up to about 15, 20 miles an hour up here in this crow's nest we're in. I don't know, it's probably not as bad down on the field.
Down in such a bottom down there, I doubt they have much wind down on the field. But the flag is really whipping in the end zone.
Third down, I formation. Pickett in kind of a halfway. Golly, Keon Carter had several times to throw it. That is a coverage sack. Nobody to throw it to. And as a result, Highland Home has its second sack of the ball game.
That's number 60, Dillard, and 7, Wilson that time, really pressuring Keon Carter. And like you say, that you have to give credit to the Highland Home secondary that time. Good coverage from them, and Keon just could not find an open receiver. So Shannon will be kicking this ball from down around about his own 3-yard line when he finally puts his foot into it.
Going to be kicking into a win.
Highland Home with a big rush.
Gets it off, a really good kick, gets away. It's going to roll over midfield. Ball's going to be down at about the 48-yard line. Good job, Shannon Sample.
It'll be about a 38-yard kick, and he really had to hurry that one, Jim. Heavy pressure from the Highland Home. They had 10 men on the line of scrimmage that time, and they really came hard after Shannon Sample.
Boy, the results of that earlier inside reverse is really showing now. Luverne was in a position to kind of put this game on a little bit higher scale for him. Instead, Highland Home has gained field position, and Luverne's unable to convert.
Yeah.
Really a big series of downs here for the Highland Home
squad. Yeah, the momentum has swung Highland Home's way. You can just really feel it down on the field.
7:43 left in the half. Luverne leads 7-0.
And inside,
good move and a great tackle.
By Mel Willis again. Mel is really playing the run very strong here tonight that time. We see a little misdirection that time. They give the ball to Barry in the middle. And he's able to pick up a few yards.
Boy, Bowen and Barry are a great duo of real craftiness in handling that ball. You're not real sure he's going to get it, and the next thing you know, he's by you with it. And Mel Willis does a good job of picking that up and stuffing him. But I also noticed that their potential receivers are more and more open. Watch for a fake.
Yeah, and he's going to drop back. That's exactly right.
Bowen under center.
Barry on the wing.
There's a fake. Here's the pass. Floats it out
behind Barry.
Ball never really was it. I tell you what, wet ball, because this field has got a lot of dampness on it.
Don't look like he ever had a good grip on that ball. Sure did.
Kind of just shoved it out there.
Just
bring up a third down and about 6.
This Luverne defense is still showing its stingy ways, except for the one big run by Meriwether, Jim. They've been very, very stingy here tonight. Highland taking a lot of time on this play, Jim.
They're going to have to hustle to get this ball off, Ray. 3rd and 6.
Wilson comes wide right.
Bowen back, pass the whole way. Screen. Got his man out there, but the pursuit's there. It spins off one, but he wasn't able to get any more than about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
Throw that time out in the flat to Monk on the screen pass, but Heath Lowry has snuck that out all the way through, Jim, and he was Johnny on the spot there to make the play.
So that'll bring up 4th down, and this is where Luverne either needs to get a real good rush on the punter or hope the ball goes in the end zone. This one's capable of rolling inside the 20 without a whole lot of trouble. Number 2, Lowry, back to receive the punt.
Number 6, Monk, in to kick for Highland.
Real high looping snap, but no rush.
Line drive kick.
Lowry needs to field it. He does. Sidesteps 1-2, but they're able to drag him down at about the 10-yard line.
Good job by Lowry that time, Jim. That ball was going to die before it reached the end zone that time, so Lowry did a good job of fielding, but he had a hard time finally getting a chance to get a hold of it, and it gave time for Highland home defenders to get down there on him before he can make a move.
So with 6:07 left in the half of the state 2A playoffs here in the south end of the state, Highland home versus Luverne, and Luverne leads 7-0. This has been just straight up the gut football so far, Ray.
Yeah, this has been a quickly played first half, Jim. It's just been grinded out and knock them down.
I formation. Hand is to the Deuce. He's up the middle. Great block and good move. Gain of about 5 on the play.
Pick up about 5. Yeah, great run that time. A good fake inside that time by Keon Carter. Jackson on the tackle that time for Highland home.
Keon looks a lot sharper this week than he did last week. Last week that ankle was bothering him. You may see him become more of part of this offense as far as carrying the ball himself.
It's really hampered Luverne's offense the last 2 weeks. They had to take a lot of the plays out, Jim. They just couldn't run because of Keon's ankle.
2nd down and 5. Again, the Deuce has it in a little bit of room. He squirts through.
It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 3 now for Luverne.
Gain of about 3 yards. Going to be 2.5 to 3 yards left in this drive for a first down.
Jim.
Still got short of the 20-yard line. Got to break to 20 to make the first.
Yeah, and this would be a big first down here for Luverne. Give him a little bit of breathing room, plus it'd eat up some more of that clock, Jim. I don't know if Coach Norman would really, of course, I know he'd love to score, but he'd love to at least keep the ball away from Highland home the rest of this half.
That's right. With 5 minutes and 3 seconds left in the half, and with a 7-point lead, you feel real good about it at this point. Keon fakes the inside run, wants to throw, has his man Mel Willis wide open, first down across the 30, gain of about 12, 13 yards on the play.
Good call that time by Luverne that time. They really faked the ball in the middle. Keon rolled left that time, had plenty of blockers in front of him, had all day. Mel Willis came back to the ball very good that time and was able to pick up a key first down.
Well, this is really big right now with 4:49 left. Luverne can kind of open it up maybe a little bit shortly and get it on across midfield. At this point, field position isn't a factor as much. Once you get inside the 30s, you need to get it pushed on down and score. I formation. Hand to the first man. He slips. I mentioned they put this wet, dry, wet, whatever, sand on the field, and it's really moist and soupy feeling if you walk around out there, Ray.
Pat Campbell had some big runs last week against Montgomery Academy, Jim, and that's his first carry of the night here tonight. Really didn't get much of a chance. As soon as he got the handoff, he went down, and without contact from Highland home.
That's right. Tried to make a cut, saw a seam inside, and lost his footings. Bring up 2nd down and 10. Luverne stays in the eye, fakes to Willis. Keon wants to throw. He's got room. He's got a man. Throws it to Buck Jones and unable to pull that one in.
The number 11, Broadnax, that time really pulled Buck Jones' arm away from the ball right as Buck was trying to bring the ball in that time. Good throw by Keon Carter. Right on the money that time, but good play by Broadnax just to pull Buck Jones' arm away from the ball.
And I tell you what he did, too. He put some zip on that. It looked like a dart throw at 50
He was
yards.
heavily covered. 2 men on Buck Jones that time across the middle. And I really thought that would be a place that Luverne could do some damage tonight, was over the middle.
Giddens has done a good job of setting up the defense to control this Luverne offense.
Double
3rd
wide
down,
outs,
I
right.
formation, double wide outs, kind of a slot formation. Keon's going to call his own number. He has a little bit of room to make the first.
He's got the
He's
first
there.
down.
Cross
That's
the
a
45.
Good sign there, Jim, that Keon Carter may be back.
3:46 left in
that
the
was a
half.
call draw, a call quarterback draw that time, Jim, no doubt about it. We hadn't been able to see that for the last 3 weeks.
Keon looks sharp, as I said earlier. You don't see him favoring
Not favoring at all. Last
you
week,
don't see Cecil favoring his very
that's
much
right.
either.
I think Coach Norman's got their attention this week. They've really had a hard, rough week of practice, Jim, and he wants to see which one of these guys are tough enough to go on the route here.
Clock cranks at 3:45.
You can really do this with a senior-laden unit like Luverne has, Jim. You can run some guys off when they're young guys. These seniors are really up to the challenge, it looks like.
High formation, kind of a long count. Throws it out in the flat to Willis. He's got one man to beat. And he pushes him out of bounds short of the first down, but it does stop the clock with 3.5 minutes left in the half.
Now Luverne's at the field position. Now, Jimmy, you start thinking about points now. You start doing some things to generate some points. If you don't get 7, at least get close enough that Shannon will have a try for 3 anyway. So now you look at clock management from here on out. Before, you just want to get a couple of first downs, get some field position, but now you're looking for clock management and points.
2nd down and 3, gain of 7 on the last play. Finally, Willis and Carter are able to connect. Hands inside to the Diesel.
He's got some room.
Cecil pushes his way through, gain for the first down, off to about the 40-yard line. Tell you what, he ran with his head straight down and his shoulders hunched up. Wasn't real sure he had the ball, and he pushes through for a gain of about 7 yards.
Cecil may be a step slower than he has been in some other games, Jim. He's really holding on the ball good, not covering up with both hands. Doesn't want to give up a fumble, and he's getting some key yardage in the middle of that line.
Ball's at the 40, 3:17, and the clock is running left in the first half. Carter on the snap, hand again inside, loses his footing, but still able to dive.
Still able to pick up about 4 or 5 yards that time, even though he was falling the whole way as soon as he got the ball.
Luverne has no time, all his timeouts left, have used none, and it's 3 minutes and counting. I expect him to start using some of those pretty short.
Yeah, if they don't make the first down here, you kind of look for Luverne to use one of their timeouts probably. But you really don't start worrying until they get down below the 2 minutes, because, you know, Luverne can score on any play from here on out. They're close enough. They're down inside the Highland home 35-yard line now.
Formation, split wide to the wide side of the field with a slot man, number 9, Pickett. Throw again to Willis. Read good by the defense, but Willis
great move by Willis
gets inside the 30 to about the 28.
Finally brought down by number 9, Palmer that time, but Willis really made a good move to get some key yardage that time.
First down for the Tigers. 2:27 left in the half.
The clock will start.
Up some chunks of yards.
The clock will start as soon as they get the chain set, though, Jim. They're down about the 29-yard line of Highland home now. And Luverne comes quickly out of the huddle. Good job this time of Luverne getting the play in and getting out of the huddle, not losing much time.
I formation. Campbell and Jackson dot the I.
There's
inside to Campbell.
Good
he cuts
run.
inside.
Sure-handed,
about 5 yards.
Sure-handed Pat Campbell. That always covers up the ball well and just always going forward. He reminds you a little bit of Corey Green. Doesn't have quite the quickness that Corey Green has, and the maybe the peripheral vision that Corey Green had, but Pat Campbell's a good steady back, always does a good job.
Inside the 2-minute mark now. Luverne leads 7-0, and the ball is down at about the 25-yard line. Luverne stays in the I. Slot right. Carter fakes, rolls right, wants to pass. Pursuit. Pass is thrown wide open. Bug Jones, he's in for the touchdown, Tigers!
Keon Carter with his second touchdown pass of the night, Jim. Big play, good blocking by the offensive front of the Luverne Tigers, and it looks like Coach Norman is doing a lot more rollouts tonight, getting Keon Carter outside the pocket. He knows Highland Home's rushing, blitzing some linebackers. He's getting Carter outside to try to give him a little bit more time, and he is able to find the open receiver.
Bug Jones was wide open. It kind of scary, that ball floating in there and nobody there around him. You're going, bring it in, Buck. He catches it like a biscuit, pulls it in, puts it on his hip, and the Tigers have made it 13-0. Here's the trifecta. Snap, down,
a little
kick,
bit high.
And it is good. And it's 14-0.
Good job by Heath Lowry to get that snap down and get it on the tee for Shannon Samples that time, and it's perfect again.
Justin Rowland, Heath Lowry, and Shannon Samples make up the trifecta, and
Jim,
it's a 14-0 lead.
And you can already tell the difference in this Highland home crowd. Not near as rowdy as they were early in this game, Jim. And Luverne couldn't write a better script than what's happened so far here tonight. They've really dominated field position and also dominated the scoreboard.
So the Tigers lead with 1:41 left in the half. And again, I want to remind everybody, and I want you to go by and see some of these guys during the parade tomorrow. Luverne's going to be big tomorrow. It's going to have one of the best parades the Chamber of Commerce has ever put on.
Is that because you're not going to be there?
And I'm not going to be there.
That's right.
It. Pepsi-Cola Luverne is bringing this to you with First Citizens Bank in Luverne, Superfoods with stores in Luverne, Greenville, and Ozark, Russell Oil with Amoco products all over in the Montgomery, Crenshaw, Pike County areas. Go by and see any of the stores there and buy some Amoco gas. Butler Timber and Realty, John Allen and Sheila and the boys, I tell you, they've been Tiger fans as long as I can remember. I really do appreciate these guys bringing it, and I know you're really warm and toasty, and a lot of you have already been up here and seen it, but this is something that you can enjoy all week, and we appreciate you watching.
Here's a kick by Samples, a little bit short again.
Ball is taken
by
about
up back by Palmer.
He's got some room, but he's tackled at about the 30-yard line, 28, good return.
That's not Palmer either, I'm sorry, but that's number 8, George Bradley on the return, one of the up backs that time on the return for Highland Home. So now we see Luverne, we talked about earlier about the management of the clock. They really drove the ball the length of the field that time, but left Highland Home a lot of time left, Jim. 1:35, Highland Home still has 2 timeouts left. Let's see what Coach Giddens chooses to do on this series of downs.
Luverne may go into a little bit less aggressive defensive package right here, and you do see a little more room of those linebackers off the line.
Give
and
inside.
Straight inside, and ball is loose. Luverne kept trying to pick it up.
Yep, and they should have really fell on the ball. Highland Home may have got it back.
They did. Highland Home retrieves it. If Luverne had just fallen on it, is reaching down around the ankles. One of the white jerseys.
Rayon Willis that time trying to pick the ball up. It really should have fell on the ball that time.
Well, but really, when the ball's in the opponent's backfield, you should try to pick it up, because if you get it, you're gone.
That's
and
right.
That would have been a game breaker. As it is, it's just 1:05 counting, and the ball's still at the opposite 27.
Yeah, loss of about 3 on the play, so it's going to bring us 2nd and 13 now for the Highland Home offense.
Long snap, a lot of confusion.
As a give to Berry.
Berry goes inside, and there he is. Number 66, my man, is there to make the tackle, Judson Bowen.
Initial contact by 11, Deshaun McGee that time to knock him off balance, and Judson Bowen's Johnny on the spot there to finish him off.
Looks like Coach Home is going to let the clock run. I wasn't real sure how that Luverne might stop it, being 3rd and 12.
Exactly right, but Coach Giddens is just wants to go in at halftime, not give Luverne anything else here, and try to regroup at halftime and come out and try to get some scores and get back in this ball game.
3rd and 9, we'll call it. Big play here. They can try anything and not risk a whole lot as the clock runs down. 13, 10.
As a give to Berry.
Great run. That's all they're going to do, Ray. And the clock's going to run out with 4th down and about 7 or 8. And that ends the first half of the state 2A playoffs in the South Division. And Luverne leads 14-0.
We start the show off tonight with a medley of Louie and Twisting Shout. second yet. We should now now salute the fans of Highland Home as we feature our military section in the great hymn, Amazing Grace. Wherever you want to go to assist. The rules are simple. Students can do what they want to do, what they have done, as long as they end up where we ask them to. Don't know where to go. We salute the fans of Luverne with a playing of Luverne High School fight song.
back to the second half, Ray. Luverne leads 14-0. We've got second half of the state 2A playoffs in South Alabama. Luverne High School against the Highland home Flying Squadron. Ray, if we start this, the team that leaves here plays at noon next Saturday in Birmingham against the winner of the Springville Sandrock.
That's exactly right.
And this game will be the SuperSix, one of the SuperSix games. And
it'd be nice to see how the field how the field conditions are going to be next Saturday, Jim. There'll be 2 games Thursday, 2 games Friday, and then we'll actually be the 5th game. So now Luverne will receive the second half kickoff, and again, field position is going to be the key to this second half.
Super kick, Ray. This ball's received at about the 3.
He's got some running room, though.
He's got a wedge up the middle, a little bit of a seam, breaks his way out, gets out to about the 30-yard line, and Ray, I tell you what, one more step to a juke or a dive, and he'd have been still running.
And that was kind of a line drive kick. Didn't get much air up under that kick, and it gave Rodney a little bit of time to pick his hole that time. And a good job by that front wall of Luverne making that wall up there and giving Rodney a crack through it.
Boy, the temperature's dropping, Ray, and the wind's picking up. It's bitter cold up here in the press box. Down on the field, it's a lot lower and underneath the hill, but it's still cold.
Which is much hot air as you and I got. Marty ought to be burning up, right?
I don't know. Even that's not going to work. Hand inside.
That's the
Gain of
Lowry.
about 4, tripped up by one Highland home man, and I tell you what, blocking looks good, but the defenders from Highland home are sticky.
They're quick. They're quick too, Jim. Very quick. A lot of quickness on this Highland home team. And they really react to the ball very quick. Like I say, you think they got a pretty good hole there, and they close it up in a hurry.
Gain of about a half a step. A lot of running and not a whole lot of movement on the chain.
Really, Luverne needs to pick up a couple of first downs here if we're able to control field position again.
Pitch,
there's the pitch to Lowry. He's got some room.
But a lot of blue jerseys out there. Tries to find his way inside. It's not there.
Pretty good pickup, though, that time. Like I say,
he gains out to the 38, gain of about 7 or 8 yards on that play. 3rd and 3.
If they keep running that, Jim, look for Luverne to do something to counter that pursuit of Highland home. Either run some type of bootleg or something off of it, off of that sweep.
Let's see what happens. Ray is always real quick on this. Luverne.
We're 3rd and about 4 now for Luverne.
Wide to the right, big backfield.
Big 3rd down play here.
Need to make a first down here, Ray. Back to
Straight
pass.
back to pass.
Throw.
Really,
he right as his throws, and he wasn't able to get that ball.
Carter had to get rid of the ball much quicker than what he wanted to that time. Merriweather, number 2, had blitzed in there and was right on top of Keon.
3rd and 3, and throws a long pass. Nothing there. Highland home didn't bite on that one.
No, they didn't. They thought they would catch Highland home sleeping that time, looking for something short, and tried to burn them long.
Didn't work. Shannon Samples in to punt.
Shannon really needs to get a good kickoff here, Jim, trying to keep Highland home back inside their own 30 if possible. We had some movement on the Luverne side that time, I think, Jim.
That's not good. If that had been on Highland home, it would have been first down, but I'm afraid it's going to be on a white jersey. Illegal procedure will be called.
So that's going to make it that much harder on Shannon Samples. Back him up 5 more yards. But that field on that end of the field is in a little bit better condition, Jim, than the other end of the field is. Most of the first half is played on the far end of the field to our right. But where Shannon is kicking from looks like pretty decent footing.
Right, Ray. That kind of has a way of icing a punter, though, when you have an illegal procedure. It makes him think about it a little bit longer.
Doesn't look like Highland's putting a big rush on like they did in the first half, Jim. They rushed 10 men one time, and Shannon really had to get rid of it quick. This time it looks like they're trying to set up a return.
They switched to a return. I believe they had a pursuit on prior to this one. Now it's a high snap. It's away. Good high kick. Ball's received. Boom! 63. DeCarlos Walters there to make him think.
And 34, Sherrod Wood, as Michael Berry brings that ball in, he is hit almost as soon as he makes contact with the ball.
Great job by Shannon Samples. Good job by the pursuit. Shannon got that ball up in the air enough to where he had to wait on it, and it gave the white jerseys, the red helmets, time to get down there and polish him off.
You don't want to give Berry a lot of running room, Jim. He's got good speed, he's a heady back, and you don't want to give him a whole lot of room.
1st and 10, Highland home. Luverne leads. We're in the 3rd period, 14-0.
Pretty fair field position for Highland home. Really, they didn't have much good field position the entire first half.
Delayed hand off to Berry, and he gets down right in.
Luverne Viper defense is right there on top of him, Jim. They've been very stingy in the middle tonight.
Luverne has held Highland to 2 first downs in the first half.
really had only two plays, I think, that went for more than 5 yards in the first half. One run was by Bowen, and of course the counter play, reverse play by Merriweather. And really, the rest of the time, it's been mostly 2, 3, 4 yard gains, Jim.
And the key here for Highland home is to get back in the game with a score. And of course, what Luverne wants to do is convert one more to ice it away.
Jim, Highland home only able to complete one pass in the first half. Actually completed more passes to Luverne than it did to the home receiver.
Right in.
He
dodges one and slips down with about 5 yard gain.
That's number 12 on the carry that time, Sankey, around the right end.
Dankus Sankey.
Notice I just been calling him Sankey.
Dankus Sankey.
It's going to bring him a big third down call now for Coach
Giddens here, Ray.
Yeah, it's going to be a long 5.
Sankey did a real good job of sidestepping the pursuit in the backfield, but when he came to make a cut, this muddy field was working against him. 3rd down and 6. It's a pitch out on the corner. Good, great tackle outside by number 11.
Deshaun McGee that time. And really, Deshaun was really split way out to the right there. Highland had been splitting 2 wide. That time only put 1. And Deshaun McGee went right back into his linebacker position, was set perfect that time for Luverne.
Dared him to throw it out there is what that amounted to, Ray. Didn't honor that at all. And what it did, it took it away. There was just a straight toss, and there was McGee to handle him. Loss on the play. 4th down and about 8, maybe 7.
Looks like Coach Giddens is a little bit upset with his offense that time. That may not have been what he called that time, Jim. At least wanted him to check off when they saw McGee move in position.
A floating snap. Gets it off. Ball takes a Luverne bounce, and it's poked.
Yeah, I think he touched it earlier too, Jim. I think it touched him before they actually ended up down there.
Yeah, the ball will be down at the 30, although it rolled down inside the 25.
20, but yeah, he had touched it earlier.
So Luverne starts really about the same place they were a while ago.
Yeah, this Luverne defense has just really shut Highland home down tonight. Jim, not let that speed take advantage of them. Really, they just had a dominating game last week. Highland home did against a tough Cottonwood team. Just have not been able to get started here tonight.
8:21 left in the 3rd period. Luverne leads 14-0 in this Luverne ball. 1st and 10. I formation. Hand to the second man. He's got some room. He cuts. He turns, and he pushes his way through.
Good run that time by number 2, the Deuce, Rodney Lowry. Jim, we've almost went 6.5 quarters, and Highland home hasn't scored a touchdown on Luverne all year. Only scored the safety the first game up here in Highland home in the regular season. So this has got to be frustrating for this Highland home offense. Really have had good success all year. Just have not been able to dent this Luverne Tiger defense in both games.
Big gain on 1st down. That's what you always want to see. 2nd down and 1. I formation. Fakes it. Wants to throw. Got some room, got some time, got a man open. Mel Willis is there. He catches it. He's in. He may go all the way. He is
in for the touchdown. That is 3 touchdown passes tonight by Keon Carter. Jim, he put that right on the money that time. Pickett had about a yard lead on the receivers. Keon Carter hit him right in mid-stride, and he's able to outrun the Highland home defense to the end zone, and it's getting mighty quiet on this side of the field, Jim.
Me too. I choked on a bug.
Let me talk a little bit, though. I got to go through everything.
I lost my patent.
I didn't think you was that interested in what I had to say that time.
I had to pull the mic all the way from down around my tonsils. But you're right. Great job, good catch, and also a good job of holding the ball. Highland home tried to strip it. Didn't work.
They fake it. It's a high snap.
Takes a high snap. He wants to throw. He does. And Heath can do everything.
Well, Heath wanted to do something different. He's run the ball, he's tackled, he's caught the ball. He says, hey, I didn't throw the ball yet this year. I want a chance to throw the ball once.
Good job, Heath Lowry.
But really, I don't know if Shannon would have been able to get the kickoff anyway. It was a very high snap. Heath had to get up to do it. I think the timing would have been completely off, so that's not a bad play by Heath Lowry.
20-0, 7:37 left in the 3rd period. The Tigers lead. They're getting closer to Birmingham. Ray, I don't think they're going to take a heat break tonight.
No, I don't think so, Jim.
Down to
I could build a fire. I could take a heat break, though.
I'll take a break for some heat. Here it is, patented kick. It's in the end zone.
Good kick that time by Shannon Sapples.
That's right. Number 26 takes the ball with 1 foot. Michael Berry does. And what he doesn't realize is when that one foot's across that blue line and sits down, it's a dead ball.
That's exactly right. And that's a big advantage there. The one way Highland home can get back in this ball game, Jim, is by a big kind of kick return or something like that. And Mr. Michael Berry can certainly do that. So that's a great job by Shannon Samples not to allow any time of return on that kickoff.
1st and 10 for Highland home. We're deep into the 3rd period, and Luverne leads 20-0, and
Jim,
we're in the semifinal round of the state 2A playoffs.
Highland home now has almost got to take some chances now.
Same type of offense.
No gain.
Sweep, and nothing there.
Good job by 11, Deshaun McGee again that time. He has a whole host of Tigers over there to help him out. Jim, this game has just been dominated by the Luverne Tiger defense and also by their big play, opportunistic offense.
Good job by the defensive line. These guys is what's really making the difference right there on the line, and that's...
Yeah, they win it in the trenches, Jim.
51 Bobo Lyle,
and on that last...
50 Rayon Willis, and of course you got Sherrod Wood, 22 is Pat Campbell. I can't see the other lineman, and that's
7 Mark Guys in there.
Mark Guys in, new man
getting his
on the
first
line.
game. Big kid, big sophomore.
It's a toss. It's going to be a halfback pass. 26 wants to throw deep. Mel Willis is there, an interception, and he pulls the receiver down back from the 50 to the 45.
Now, that's the 3rd interception of the night for the Tiger defense, and just as I said earlier, Highland Home's got to take some chances now, but I tell you, it's hard to fool Mel Willis, Jim. He's Johnny on the spot. That's number 9 of the year for Mel Willis, 9th interception of the year.
You do not want to float one for Mr. Willis. He will get under it, and he's so tall and has such leaping ability and strength. And you saw the strength after he catches the ball. He drags the intended receiver back 5 more yards, 1st and 10 Tigers.
Luverne again with good field position now, Jim. They're controlling field position again.
Stays in the I formation, and we have a penalty flag on the line. That could be the defense.
Could have lined up offside.
Let's see what the call is. Nope, it's going to be against
on Luverne.
The Tigers.
Okay, Luverne lined up offside, I see.
All right. Could have been a tight end on this side, pulling in just a little bit. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Tigers as they spot this ball, brings it back out to the 50.
It was still great field position for the Luverne Tiger offense, Jim, especially when you look at that scoreboard, ahead 20-0.
Keon Carter's a quarterback, I formation.
First
Pickett
and
goes
15.
in motion. It's a toss to the Deuce.
Deuce is looking to throw the ball.
He's got some
He's
room.
got some running room
He's
there.
got a lot of blue jerseys to cut back, and we have a flag thrown. Hit Cecil Jackson right in the face mask with a flag.
Yeah, 1st and 15 there. Luverne was looking to try to catch Highland Home off guard that time. We talked about earlier them running the sweep and the over-pursuing of the Highland Home defense. But that time Rodney could not refine an open receiver that time. And of course, we've seen Rodney early in the year at the quarterback position. He's certainly got a cannon on him.
So it's a block below the waist, and what that amounts to is a block, a chop block. Once he gets outside, you get kind of willy-nilly on your blocking, and the Tigers are punished with a 10-yard or 15-yard penalty.
Well, the way Rodney Lyer really cuts and darts, Jim, a lot of times he'll turn a defensive man around. About the time you're making a block, the defensive man will turn on you, and it's really hard to adjust that quick, and a lot of times you pick up that penalty.
So that's what we got. So now it's going to be 1st and forever, about 25 yards.
Luverne, at their own fault, is backing up now. 1st and 30 yards to go now.
Tigers stay in a I formation. Slot left, hand straight inside, a conservative call.
That's Pat Campbell.
And they hadn't got him down yet. They finally ride him down after he gains about 6 yards on the play.
Jim, we talked about when the game started, the key to this game is turnovers and field position, and that's certainly what we've seen tonight. Highland Home with 4 turnovers, 1 fumble, 3 pass interceptions. Luverne yet to turn the ball over to Highland Home. So big difference in this ball game.
And field position. Highland Home has not gotten the ball across midfield
The
yet.
first quarter never got in Luverne territory the entire first quarter.
6 minutes left in the 3rd period.
Both wide outs to the left.
25. Keon wants to throw. He's got a man open. He floats it out there. Just a little bit overthrown. Good defense, really, by Highland Home. Number 11 for the Squadron is Larry Bordox, and he stays right there with him.
Sure did a good job that time. Keon a little bit overthrew Fernando Pickett, but I tell you what, Pickett and Willis has been on some sprints in the night, Jim, so I'm sure they're a little bit tired already.
Maybe they're not as cold as we are.
Yeah, maybe so.
20-0. 5:39 left in the third period, and it's third and
long,
very,
man.
very long. Luverne will have to get down to the opposing 35-yard line.
Keon
Carter calls a draw. It's not there.
Hey, great job that time by the Highland home defender, number 7, Wilson. Did a great job that time. Keon one-on-one. He stayed right with him and made the tackle that time.
That was LeMaine Wilson, and he did a tremendous job of staying with Keon Carter.
So after the turnover, it really doesn't hurt Highland home. Actually, Luverne backs up because of 2 penalties that time, and so it's up to Shannon can't say that, can I? Shannon Sample's foot.
Well, I hope Shannon Samples hits that ball. Let's see what he does. Got the pursuit in there this time, Ray.
High snap.
He sidesteps, throws it, incomplete pass. Good job, Shannon.
Everybody's wanting to get in the throwing game here tonight, Jim. Heath Lowry's already tried one. Now Shannon Samples has tried one. I thought after he got by the initial pursuit, he had a chance to really kick the ball, especially with him being left-footed and running left. He chose to try to get the ball out in the flats and not able to complete it.
Probably should have kicked it there.
So really, this has to count as a turnover right here, Jim, and this is the first big break of the night for Highland home.
So Highland home takes over. First time they've been across midfield, and the first turnover for Luverne. 1st and 10 for Highland home at the
but I tell you what, it's going to be up to this
40-yard line.
Tiger defense to hold them at bay here. Another new face in there on the defense. Jimmy Ballard, 21, is in there on the defensive line.
Bowen under center. Takes the snap, hands it to Berry. Reverse, ball's loose, covered. Tried that inside reverse again, Ray.
And again,
That's
I really and truly think this weather's really affecting these handoffs and handling the ball tonight, Jim.
Where it worked so good before, this time they lose about 10 yards on the play. Well, 5 yards on the play.
It's going to make 2nd and long. Highland home wants to stay out of these situations because they just haven't been able to consistently move the ball tonight on this Tiger defense. So this is really a big burden to Highland home's 2nd and long situation.
4.5 minutes left in the third period. Highland home still got a lot of sting to them.
Oh, yeah, they can score in a hurry. I guarantee you Highland home can score in a hurry.
This is where they did a toss sweep earlier. Let's see what they do this time.
Bowen back to pass.
Roll, throws across the middle. Pass is caught. Short of the first down. Wilson makes the catch. Merrill Willis to stop him.
You know, Jim, again, that wasn't the prettiest pass in the world, kind of wildly, but it did the job that time. Wilson able to bring it in, and that's just Bowen's 2nd completion of the night.
Doesn't throw very many.
But still, it's going to put them, because of that big first down loss, going to make it 3rd and about 3, a long 3 to go for the first down.
But you know they're going to go on 4th down here, Ray. They're inside the Luverne Tiger 35-yard line, down about to 33. Split backfield. Good roll and throw that time by Bowen. Snap, this time it's just a straight toss to Berry. He cuts outside, gets outside containment. Merrill Willis knocks him out of bounds.
Breaks 2 tackles that time, Jim, before Merrill Willis finally knocks him out of bounds.
Shows a combination of his strength and speed.
Yeah, first time Berry's really been able to get loose tonight.
3:20 left in the third period.
There's a lot of time left on this clock, Jim.
15 minutes of ball game left.
Highland home will get themselves right back in this ball game with a score here.
Clock was stopped with the knock out of bounds. 1st and 10 for the Squadron. The ball's at about the 23-yard line.
Palmer and Berry in the backfield now for Highland home. Berry with her on the wing.
Extends the ball out. Look at that. You see it. Who was that man that blows through? Sherrod Wood?
That's Sherrod Wood, number 34
Golly.
from his linebacker position. Really fires in there. Bowen coming around left on the quarterback sweep, and Sherrod Wood just really fires through there and knocks him down.
Doesn't really tackle him, tie him up, but just pushes him down, and loss on the play again. It's going to be 2nd down and 12. Ball's at about the 25, 26-yard line. Highland home splits the 2 men way out. Last time Luverne brought their defender back in tight. They may try to take something off it. This time they're going to try to throw to him. Back across the screen. Almost a hole. Not called there. He dives. He's down inside the 5, close to the 3-yard line.
Again, Highland trying to take advantage of the pursuit of the Tiger defense that time. Bowen rolled left, threw back to the right against Berry. He broke an initial tackle that time and able to really sprint down inside the Tiger 5-yard line.
You're right, Ray. First and goal. Ball's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Good job on that screen there. Good job by the blocker, able to keep that Tiger defender from making a tackle.
So Luverne, Highland home, we're showing the first real emotion of the night by this Squadron offense now.
First
As
and
a give
goal.
to Sankey.
Sankey's close. They didn't call it. He's down close to the goal line, and he will
I think
be
his
short
knee
of the
hit a little
touchdown.
first that time, Jim. His knee went down before the ball got across the end zone.
See Sherrod Wood getting out, number 34, with a limp. Almost 2 minutes in the third period, and the Squadron is about 1 yard away from getting on the scoreboard.
Clock is now under 2 minutes in the third quarter.
Bowen to take the snap.
Little mix-up in the backfield.
Not going to be there. He's
Nope.
short.
Little mix-up that time between Bowen and Palmer that time on the handoff and really kind of bumped together. And by that time, the Tiger defense is able to penetrate the line of scrimmage and knock Palmer down.
Anton Palmer hits a host of white jerseys there. The whole left side of the line stood him up. And this is taking time. 1.5 minutes now left in the third period. And it is 3rd and 1. Automatically going to go on 4th down. Let's see what they do on 3rd. Again, defensive front line is doing a heck of a job.
Yeah, this defensive line of Luverne has had a big night tonight. Give to Palmer
This time
again.
he dives in.
He is in.
He's in. Touchdown for the Squadron. Take it to the opposite side. Luverne tried to second guess that they were going to go right to go left, and the Squadron's on the board. It's 20-6.
We see a different sideline over here now, Jim. It's really got this Highland Home Squadron sidelines fired up now. They're getting right back in this ball game. As we've talked about all year, it's going to be very important now for the Luverne offense to take this ball and answer this score of Highland Homes. Looks like Highland's going to be going for 2 here.
You're right, Ray. They're going to take every chance they can to try to make some points. A pass. Overthrown. Incomplete. 20-6. 104. Highland home in the 7th period of play against Luverne.
Finally getting in the end zone. That's exactly right.
Almost makes through 7. 1 minute and 4 seconds away.
But like we said earlier, it's going to be very important now for Luverne to take this kickoff. At least, if they don't get points out of it, at least drive the length of the field and eat up a lot of this fourth quarter clock.
.104 left. Ray, you know what? I'd almost guess that they could try an onside kick. You know, they're going to do just about anything here. Field position is important, but they need the ball back. They don't.
They kick it deep.
This ball's down about the 3-yard line. Deuce takes it. Line
Straight
drive,
up the
got
field.
some room. Cuts it outside. He's got a couple of men to beat. Makes a corner.
Good
He's
return
out of
again.
bounds at about the 35-yard line. Good job. Good cut there on a field that doesn't really sport very good footing. Did a super job of making his cut.
We certainly haven't seen the great cuts and darts that we've seen earlier in the year from this Luverne offense tonight because of this very loose footing on this field.
54 seconds. Luverne needs to do a little better job of handling the ball than they did last time.
Got themselves in the hole with just a penalties last time. Really, their own worst enemy last series of downs.
Time is delayed while they get the kicker's shoe on.
Keon Carter brings him up. Pat Campbell and Lowry in the backfield.
Hand straight inside, and boy, I tell you what, the blue jerseys were waiting on him.
This Highland Home Squadron team certainly looks like a different team than what opened up this second half.
They sure are. They got a good momentum going right now. The Tigers need to do something to take the sting out. The clock's running with 35 seconds left.
All year long, Highland Home's been a big play, opportunistic offense. So really, Luverne needs to grind out a couple of first downs here and at least gain field position advantage again.
I formation. Split wide right, nobody in motion.
Give it to
Hands
Jackson.
to Jackson, and he's pushing. He's out close. Depends on the spot here, Ray.
I think they're going to mark him a little bit short, maybe, the first down.
Very, very close, so that'll bring up probably around a 3rd and 1.
And this will probably be about
down.
the last play of the 3rd quarter here, too, unless Luverne tries to pass the ball.
Out of bounds stops the clock, and it is 3rd and a step. I tell you what, Cecil's doing a great job of running. When he puts his hands on the ball, he's really heading north or south.
And he's protecting the ball much better tonight. Cecil's been plagued by fumbles somewhat throughout his career, but doing a great job tonight of holding on to that ball and protecting it. Now let's see this offensive line of Luverne and see if they can handle this defensive front of Highland home.
3rd and 1. Keon Carter calls his own line. I tell you what,
he really drives Wilson backwards that time, Jim. We're able to pick up the first down. Wilson meets him right at the line of scrimmage, but Carter just drives Wilson backwards and picks up the first down.
As they mark this ball, and remind everybody to go by and see the folks at Pepsi-Cola and tell them thanks. First Citizens Bank. Go by and see John Allen Butler and all the boys at Butler Timber and Realty. John Wilson at Superfoods.
And Russell
of course, Russell Oil. I lost my program. The wind blew it away, and my hands are so cold, I fumbled it. But Tom Russell and all the guys there, we really do appreciate them sponsoring us. And we've said it before, but they aren't paying the Cablevision. They're paying the school. The money goes straight into the athletic fund, and we sure do appreciate it.
And, Jim, that clock is ticked down to the end of the 3rd quarter now with Luverne leading Highland home 20-6 as we close out the 3rd quarter.
Ray, we're 12 minutes away from Birmingham. One of these teams is either going to have to put it away or the other one step up and make it a ball game. Luverne leads 20-6. We're at Highland home here in Crenshaw County. This has been called the Crenshaw County Bowl. One in the State 2A semifinal game.
Yeah, Luverne, by gaining that first down, has got a little bit better field position here. They're about to crack the 50-yard line. Looks like Highland almost jumped off sides, but the give is to Campbell.
Takes the ball off right guard and just blows his way across midfield to about the 48. That's going to be a gain of about 5 yards.
And they penetrate the midfield stripe that time. Now we're into Highland home territory.
Call it 6, 2nd and 4. Campbell is some kind of speedster, not very much on a cut.
Very dependable, very good ball carrier, though, Jim, and you're not going to tear that ball away from his arms the way he protects that ball.
Luverne stays in I formation the whole second half thus far, Ray. Takes the handoff. He wants to throw. Plants, throws, got a man open. The ball is there and tipped. Good defense.
Great defensive play by 26 Berry that time. We're able to swat that ball away at the last minute.
Fernando Pickett was there. Had the ball had a little more air, or a little more distance on it, rather, or Berry had not been able to expertly put his hand on it, that would have been 6 more for the Tigers.
Pickett was behind the defense again, Jimmy. Really, Carter had to throw that ball about 50 yards across the field to try to get that ball to Pickett. Luverne trying to catch Highland home by surprise. Really been driving this ball on the ground. And that time, on a 2nd and short play, tried to catch him by surprise by going for the long bump.
3rd and 5, ball at the 49-yard line. I formation. Hand straight inside the guy.
And he doesn't
get it.
Cecil Jackson not able to get the first down that time, so it's going to force Shannon Samples to try another punt.
Samples on the last punt had a very high snap. Tried to pass it, unable to punt. Now, I'm sure you're going to see these blue jerseys coming in here again.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they do any kind of a setup for a return here. I'm sure they're going to try to put the pressure on Samples. And there's like 10 men at the line of scrimmage for Highland home here.
Looks like 20 from here. High snap again. He's going to get it away. He does. Good punt this time. Going to get a great roll, too. And there goes field position.
It's going to be inside the 5.
Down to about the 2-yard line. Terrific job by Shannon Samples.
Shannon Samples, when he has been able to punt tonight, Jimmy's done a fantastic job.
So 10:31 left in the 4th quarter. This game is led by the Tigers 20-6. And the Squadron will have 98
yards of green in front of them, Jim, a greenish brown.
Yeah, kind of a brown. I don't think anybody's left, though.
No, it's still a packed house, Jim. It's great to see this kind of crowd in North Crenshaw County tonight. Seeing a lot of the old alums over on the Luverne side tonight. John Sport, John Williams, Fred Jeffcoat over there tonight.
Older alums,
the Russell
younger
boys
than me. Wait a minute.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw Hamp and Teeny Russell.
That's right.
Toss
Berry on the carry.
Takes it in
Got some room.
And he's open. It's a foot race. Pickett's after him. He tackles big play on it, just a straight inside play, and that's what we've been waiting to see.
We've talked about it, Jim. Highland Home's a very big play offense. They got almost probably as much speed as Luverne does, and that time Barry gets a little crease, and he's off to the races. And fortunately for Luverne, Pickett is able to drag him down. We mentioned early in the game how much of a chance Mel Williams was taking, really firing inside, trying to make a stop. That time, Mel got burned a little bit that time, and Pickett had to bring him down from behind.
So Highland Home gets 48 of that 98 in one play.
Yeah, in a hurry.
This time it's a
Pitches
toss
to Barry again. Now Sean McGee is there this time.
He does a good job. He fires off. You can tell Barry was a little winded.
He's tired. That's exactly right.
Be inside of 10 minutes in the fourth period.
In the first quarter and most of the second quarter, Sankey was really the workhorse for Highland Home. He was doing all the bulk of the ball carry. Then out in the second half, they really put it in the hands of Barry to see if he can make the big play.
Highland Home keeps bringing in fresh backs.
Yeah, they rotate Palmer, Sankey, and Barry constantly. They sure do, trying to keep the fresh backs in there. A very young offensive line for Highland Home, too, Jim. They're really going to mature over these next few years. They should be a very strong offensive line.
Double wideouts this time, and Luverne opts to carry a draw.
Give us to Barry again.
It doesn't work.
No, he breaks 3 or 4 tackles.
A good job of breaking, but
finally Sherrod Wood brings him down.
Sherrod Wood comes in. I tell you what, Sherrod has really got a lot of quickness inside, and he blows out there. That could have been a very dangerous
play. And he's
play.
a very small guy. Jim Sherrod's like a little beanstalk. He doesn't have much weight on him, but I tell you what, but he brings him down when he hits. He really packs a punch with that small body of his.
It's like an axe on that one. It brings him down. Third down. 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 is a big play here for Coach Giddens.
The ball is just on the opposite side of midfield.
Bowen brings him up to the line of scrimmage. We got wing backs on either side, left and right.
Goes in motion. Good Lord, what is this? It's a dive.
That's 32, Chuck
32.
Campbell.
Big Chuck is in. Makes a stab at tackle. I tell you what, that is a big play here in the fourth quarter.
Well, they faked the little cross buck again, the little inside reverse again that time. Bowen came it, but hey, Chuck Campbell will have no part of that fake, and he's Johnny on the spot to make the tackle. We talked about Highland Home rotating backs. Luverne has done an excellent job tonight rotating their defensive line. We've seen Chuck Campbell in, Jimmy Ballard in, Mark Guy in. They have really rotated the down linemen.
Loss of 8, 4th and 18. They'll have to punt, and that's how big that play was. It's a bad snap. It was going to be a fake. And now Pat Campbell's there. He's got 2 men to beat. He's down. That's good, just as good as a turnover. A fake punt, and the snap was really too wide of the up back, and then the punter had to chase it down.
Finally brought down by 51 Bobo Lowry that time.
Inside of 8 minutes in the fourth period, that was a big turnover for the Tigers.
Sure is. It really took a lot of wind out of that Highland Home offense now. But Luverne really needs to punch this ball in, Jim, to really put this game on ice.
It's on ice. They just need to put it away. 7:59 left in this game. Luverne stays in the eye.
Luverne inside the Highland Home 40. And I think Highland jumped a little bit early.
Jumped, that's right. And you see the call, too. It was a wide open inside move there. The referee's not blown that dead. I'm sure Highland Home is a little bit on their heels now, Ray.
Yeah, they think that's probably their last gasp effort right there, Jim. A chance to, after that big run by Barry, they was really fired up, but just not able to get any more momentum from that run, and just the big play by Chuck Campbell just took a lot out of Highland Home.
So it'll be 1st and 5 now. The ball's down to the 33-yard line. The Tigers remain in the eye.
Jim, I tell you what, Chuck Campbell's going to be an exciting player to watch over these next 2 years. I guarantee you he's going to make a lot more big plays.
This time they stay with it. Cecil has some room, and he pushes his way through, gain of about 10 or 12 yards. 1st and 10 Tigers. Ball is spotted at the 20-yard line.
Jim, real proud of Cecil Jackson tonight. Really coming back from that injury last week, showing his mental toughness and physical toughness. Really had a big game here tonight in Highland Home.
1st and 10 Tigers. The referee blows the whistle to start the clock. 7:50 and counting.
Ball on the Highland Home 20. Looks like Keon's checking off.
The backs are playing a little tighter on the split receivers out. Instead, he lays down inside. Jackson does a good job of just blowing.
The ball is on the ground, though, and Highland Home has got it.
Turnovers. This time the turnover was
number 7, Wilson, there on the recovery for the Highland Home defense. And as we said before, that's always haunted Cecil Jackson. But Cecil made a good run that time, really hit it at the line of scrimmage. It bounces off, makes some good yards. You're not able to lock that ball up, and Highland Home strips it away for a big turnover.
And they take over at the 10-yard line. In that exchange, Luverne gains about 40 yards.
But still just one play from being right back in this ball game, Jim.
7:29.
That keeps the crowd here a little bit longer.
Up. Yeah, they will be. A little bit of confusion on offense. See how Luverne adjusts to it.
Quarterback
out
sweep.
Right. Quarterback keeps. Good pursuit by the defense.
Number 63 to Carlos Waters on the tackle. We still seeing that big rotation coming out of the defensive line. First action by Carlos Waters tonight on defense. They've really done a great job of rotating the defensive front.
Bowen calls his own number, gains about 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 7. Inside the 7-minute mark now as Highland sends in number 8 with the play.
That's Brantley coming in, George Brantley coming in with a play from the sideline from Coach Giddens. You see him back in his wing.
Back in the wing-back formation.
One back.
In motion. Pursuit is there. He wants to throw the pass. Ball is incomplete.
Almost picked off. 23, Tony Parks that time for Luverne, going for the 4th interception tonight.
Good job by number 11. McGee back there pressing the passer, and almost an interception by Parks. That stops the clock with 6:38 left in the ball game, and Luverne leads 20-6 here in the 4th period. 3rd and 7. This is going to be real important for Highland Home to get a first down.
This is going to be a big play for them. I don't want to turn the ball back over to the Luverne offense again, because it looks like Highland's defense is getting a little bit tired.
Back to pass. He throws.
Under heavy pressure.
I don't know, did he call it a catch? Yes. No, incomplete.
No, incomplete. I don't think he never had control of the ball.
Ball slid on the ground. They wasn't real sure if he was going to give it to him or not.
Good try by Wilson that time. Really, Bowen under heavy pressure that time. Good charge by that defensive front of Luverne.
Wilson's a big guy.
Yeah, he
is.
is.
You know what? He's got a lot of speed and tall, rangy type of player.
He's just a junior too, Jim. He'll be back for another year. This is a very young Highland Home team. Look for them to be in the thick of this 2A title quest again next year, Jim.
Highland Home's going on 4th down here, Ray. If they don't make this and they're just handing the ball.
No, they're not.
They're back to kick. I'll take that back.
Monk is back to kick.
Monk gets it away, and a booming punt.
Willis was back that time, and it looks like he's turned it over. Highland Home's got it again. That's number 2, Merriweather, there to recover. I don't think, maybe Luverne wasn't looking for Highland on the punt that time. They didn't put Rodney Lowry back deep. They put Mel Willis back deep. He's really struggled all year with punt returns.
Monk did a great job of punting that ball. That ball was way up in there, just hung. Willis had to wait on it, and when he did, he tried to take it on one knee, fumbled the ball, and Highland was there to cover. That's like a 45-yard play.
That's exactly right. Big play for Highland Home.
6:24 left in the ball game. Luverne leads 20-6, but it's been all Highland Home in the 4th quarter.
Over 3 quarters of almost perfect offense, not turning the ball. Now have had 2 consecutive turnovers.
Bowen back to pass. Man's caught. He's going to score. Unbelievable split to defenders. And
number 8,
on its
Brantley.
heel.
We see the same thing we saw at Montgomery Academy last week, Jim. 2 defenders went for the interception. Not able to get to the ball, and Brantley makes the reception. And, Jim, we got us a ball game now.
Now it's 20-12, 6-14, and the sputtering Luverne offense is going to have to show something here late in the game.
Jim, this will be a big point after here for Highland Home. Let's see if they go for the 1 or go for the 2 here. It looks like they're going for 2. If they make this, Jim, 20-14, they would be within just a touchdown of tying this game up, and they could go ahead with the extra point.
Wing backs. Bowen to pass. Got his man open.
Same play as it did before.
And it's incomplete. Ball is tipped, and when it's tipped,
they won't pass interference. After a ball's tipped, it's an open game there, and you can kill the receiver once the ball's been tipped.
Now it's an 8-point difference, and the Tigers will receive the ball with 6:14, and offense has got to go to work.
We've got to move this ball, Jim. Like I said, big plays, and big plays have got Highland on right back in this ball game.
So the Tigers with 6:14 and now a tentative 20-12 lead must show some offense.
We've seen 2 good returns by Rodney Lowry. He really needs to get him another good return here.
Good high kick this time, and this ball will be down in the corner. He's got to come up
he's
short.
right in the corner.
Dodges one tackler, spins another, got a little room on the outside and brings it out to the 20.
Great coverage there. He's inside the 20-yard line, Jim.
That was one that could almost let go either way. It could have gone in the end zone. It could have brought it out to the 20 or out of bounds, and it had been out to the 35. The blue jerseys are pumped up now. All of a sudden, they can smell a chance. And they're good. They're late in the game scoring last week against Cottonwood.
Yeah, they trailed Cottonwood in the 4th quarter last week and just really blew them out in the 4th quarter then. You know, this Highland home defense was tired a couple of series ago, but now they're working off emotion. They'll be right back in this thing.
So it's up to Butch Norman's Tigers to do something. Keon Carter, quarterback.
Give us to Campbell.
Campbell's
Good
got some room, and he pushes
got about
it.
6 to 7 yards that time. Good.
He lowers his shoulder and just keeps those legs pumping and pushes the blue jersey back. Good block. I couldn't see who that was leading him, but he did.
That was off the right side behind Judson Bowen and Brock Sims over on that right side, along with Buck Jones.
Clock's running 5:44. Neither team's used a timeout here, though.
No, both teams have all 3 timeouts.
Carter to take the snap.
Give again to Campbell.
Campbell pushes his way through. Doesn't get the first down, but does gain about 2
We'll bring up about
3rd
and 1 though here now, Jim. Good position here for Luverne. 3rd and 1.
Well, they bring it back now.
Yes, it's still within about 1.
Okay.
Look for Keon maybe just to sneak on either side of his center here, just to read the defensive front here and just try to sneak for this first down.
Well, this is a very important first down. It'll be right at 5 minutes.
Boy, they're
left in the ball.
really tied in there in that middle now, Jim. It's going to be tough for him to sneak for it. But he does. He pushes the ball. It's going to be close. It's going to be very
Hands
close.
on the spot. Never did get his foot movement. All he did was lean it forward.
They really packed the middle of that defense that time, Jim.
You know what? It's almost at the point where Luverne's going to have to go for on 4th down. I know it's deep, but after having a punt blocked,
it is going to be 4th down. No measurement.
Decision time for the Tigers. Still no word from Norman.
Almost going to have to take a timeout here.
And they are taking a timeout.
Yeah. A good decision by Coach Norman. Let's talk it over.
Boy, I tell you what, this is a game of a big swing of momentum and emotion.
Really,
the Tigers really looked like they were going to have a rout going at one time.
Yeah, 20 to nothing.
Not now.
And Highland home with 2 big plays that got right back in this game now. And it's a dogfight from here on out.
Hey, here we go. 4th down and a foot.
Boy, it's a gutsy call here by Coach Norman, Jim.
Look
for them either just to try to pull them offside, take another timeout, which I doubt they would do, or either they're going for it.
Everybody's pinched inside. Hands inside. He's got it. Got it by 3 or 4 yards.
Good job by Rodney Lowry. Gutsy call by Coach Norman there, but you got to have confidence in your team to do it when it's down.
That's when you tell you guys in your timeout, boys, the decision is yours. Do you want to punt and give them the ball back, or can you make a foot?
That's right.
That's all it needed. And so with 4.5 minutes, they make that foot in about 3 more yards.
But Luverne still has to have 2 or 3 more first downs, Jim, because Highland home does still have their full complement of timeouts.
You're right, Ray. Luverne's used 1, and Highland home has used none. I formation. Keon Carter, quarterback. Still, Brad Watts is the first man to snap.
He's running this clock down between plays now, using all the time that he can.
Hands to the tailback, and he gets very little, maybe about a yard, maybe 2.
The middle of that Highland home defense playing very tough.
Gonna force Highland home into trying to use a timeout before the ball is turned back over to him if Luverne doesn't make the first down.
But Luverne doing a good job of managing the clock here, using up all the time they possibly can. All what you want to do here, Jim, is just avoid the penalty. You don't want to back yourself up 5 yards or 10 yards or whatever. You just want to constantly be moving forward.
3.5 minutes left in the ball game.
Again, Keon looking to the sideline.
When you see him looking over there, they're giving a hand signal of when to start the play. Hand to Campbell.
Good
Campbell
drive.
spins, turns out, and he hits it about the 40. He's going to be about 3 yards short.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 3 situation there. Good job by Pat Campbell running. Again, they're constantly running on this right side behind Judson Bowen, Brock Sims, and Buck Jones.
So at 3:08, the referee starts the field clock, and it'll be inside of 3 minutes when this third down play is called. I look for Pat Campbell to run it again.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. He's been the bread and butter man this second half.
Keon Carter, long snap count, tries to draw Highland home.
There he is, Campbell around the left side. He's got the first down. Good,
big
hard
play.
drive.
I'll tell you what,
Pat
he
Campbell.
pushes those legs, and that's going to be a turning point in the ball game right there. Now Highland Home will have to start using those
this series of
timeouts.
downs, they'll have to start using their timeouts, Jim, no doubt about it. Look for them after this first down play here to use part of their first timeout.
1st and 10. Clock will be cranked at 2:39, and that means it'll be just close to 2 minutes left in the ball game when this snap is made. Carter checks the sideline.
Coach Norman holding his hand up. He'll let it down when he wants him to start the snap count.
He starts this count. 1st and 10.
Give us a Campbell again.
Campbell again.
Driving
Campbell
inside.
is getting the call every time. Now you can watch for a
He's the
timeout.
most sure-handed ball carrier, Jim. No doubt
Highland
about
Home
that.
uses his first timeout of the second half with 2:09 left.
Coach Giddens going on the field now to talk to his defense.
Coach Daniel is not on the sideline. A lot of you may have looked for him in the camera. He's up here in the press box. Kind of a change here in this fourth round playoff game. And of course, both of us, when they called that timeout, we both turned our heads to see what the coach is going to tell them, because he is so good at getting the right read on their defense to let our offense know what to run.
Exactly right, Jim. It's going to be a 2nd and 5 situation now for the Luverne offense. What they've done in this drive is got good yardage on first down and put themselves in good position for 2nd and 3rd down. Again, they pretty much put it in the hands of Pat Campbell, our surest-handed back and a hard driver. And Pat Campbell so far on this drive has been able to deliver.
Now, Campbell's gotten the last 4 calls. Wouldn't surprise me to watch Keon fake it to Campbell and keep it himself.
That's exactly right, trying to make the big play and pick up one more first down would just be a real key for this Luverne team.
2:09 left. You can watch for Highland Home to take their second timeout.
Also watch for Luverne to go to the left this time. They have switched this time. Judson Bowen, Brock Sims, and Buck Jones to the left side this time.
Carter takes
That's
the
where they
snap.
go. That's to Lowry. He's got some room.
He's got room. He's got
Boy,
the
he needs
first
to cover
down,
that
and
ball up, though, Jim.
he's over the 40 to about the 38. First down, Tigers.
Still had that ball with one hand, Jim, and when Highland Home makes contact, this next guy's going to be grabbing for the ball, so he's got to be careful.
So the clock is momentarily stopped till they put the box down. As soon as they do that, the referee starts the clock, and there it is. It's inside of 2 minutes now. Luverne leads 20-12, and we're in the semifinal game, the Crenshaw County Bowl here in Highland Home. Split wide right. You can watch Keon Carter at quarterback check the sideline to get the okay to start
Highland
this
Home
play.
tied in the middle again here. Give it to
Hands
Lowry.
belly out. Lowry gets out on the side. Not going to get out of bounds, though. And we're inside of a minute and a half.
Now
and
Highland
Highland
takes
Home
their
calls
second timeout.
their second timeout. .132 left. Highland Home has 1 timeout remaining, and Luverne has the ball, 2nd and 10. Cross midfield. Not looking for a score, but looking for 3 zeros on the clock. Keon Carter does the fake I talked about. He's on the corner. Good block. Got the corner out of bounds. No. Does an alert job of diving inside.
Inbound.
And he's down at about the 12-yard
Great
line.
fake that time by Keon Carter, Jim. He got the corner, got a good block downfield by, I believe, Mel Willis, and did a great job of getting around the end that time, pick up a big first down for Luverne.
Boy, he looked all alone. Everybody pinched inside. A great block out on number 6. I couldn't tell the Luverne Tiger player.
It was either Mel or Pickett. I think it was
But all
Mel
he
on
did
that
is
side.
just bump him, hold his hands up as if I'm not doing nothing wrong, Mr. Referee. And
Ball is now on the 15-yard line of Highland Home. Really should be able to just run out the clock now. Highland Home with only 1 timeout left.
that's right. The clock's running at 1:05. Ball will be snapped right at the 1 minute mark.
We'll get moving on Highland Home and the Luverne side that time. Let's see who moves first.
Again, I want to thank our sponsors. I want everybody to go by and see them tomorrow during the parade. And that's Butler Realty, and they're down there at Colonial Bank Building. And then Pepsi-Cola of Luverne, Superfoods of Luverne, First Citizens Bank, and Russell Petroleum. All of these guys have been so good and they put up with a lot, you know. It really doesn't do their business at all good when people like Ray Hilburn are sponsoring them, but, you know, they're going to get used to it.
Well, they've all got my credit, all of them, I think.
1 minute left. Carter takes a snap. Hand inside is the deuce, and the deuce is tackled. And this may be the last timeout Highland Home will take. It is.
Yeah, that is their final timeout, Jim. So all Luverne needs to do now is just hold on to this ball, and they should not allow Highland Home to get it back.
That's right. On third down play, all they got to do is take a snap, get some motion on the ball, and then when they place it, there'll be 30 seconds before the field clock will run out. Almost take a delay of game.
Jim, this has been a great ball game, just like we thought. Two hard-nosed rivalries fighting it out to the end. That's exactly what we've had here tonight.
Ray, with 50 seconds left, I'm going to head down on the field, get an interview with Coach Norman, and also a Luverne alumnus, John Williams, who will be hosting the Tigers in Birmingham, the 2A champs playoffs.
The SuperSix is sponsored by the Birmingham Touchdown Club, and John Williams is a member of that, and he's going to be able to host the Luverne team up there next week. So it's a big honor for us to have John Williams up there, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk with him after the game to find out a few more of the details.
I also want to thank Marty Ward for traveling with us, and we'll see him up there next week. There's a little discussion on whether or not we will or will not be able to film the game.
If we not, we may do it with ESPN. I'm sure they're after us.
They've called me. 50 seconds left, 20 to 6. 20
Luverne is just
lead.
going to kneel here now. That's what it does. Keon Carter just
kneels it down.
No more timeouts left for Highland Home.
Well, I'll be reporting to you from the field, and Ray, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, be careful going down, Jim. Now you bring up a 3rd and 15 now for Luverne at the Highland Home 20-yard line. Again, Highland Home is out of timeouts. All Luverne needs to do is really snap this ball, kneel down, and that will be the last play of the ball game. Keon Carter under center. Rodney Lyer right by his side. Safety man back behind Keon. He runs and just kneels down. And that should be the last play of the ball game as the clock ticks down and the Luverne crowd on their side of the field chants it down. It's down to 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And the Luverne Tigers advance to the SuperSix in Birmingham next Saturday, December the 13th. A 12 o'clock kickoff in Birmingham's Legion Field as Luverne defeats Highland Home on a very cold, chilly night here in Highland Home. The final score, Luverne 20, Highland Home 12. And now we'll be joining Jim Perdue on the sideline for a few words with Coach Butch Norman.
Coach, that was a very exciting game. Here we are, Crenshaw County Bowl. Luverne had a chance, looked like we're going to put it away, but I tell you what, Highland Home is a never-say-die team. They came back and made it a ball game. Real exciting.
Yeah, Jim, you can't say enough good things about Coach Giddens and his staff and the kids at Highland Home. They've had a tremendous year, and I tell you the truth, I made a couple mistakes there coaching in the second half that are in the fourth quarter that gave me a chance to get back in the football game, and but I won't make those anymore. But, you know, hey, it was a great win. You know, we got a chance to go to the SuperSix now, and that's what, you know, the kids want to do starting in August. And so I'm tickled to death for them, you know, and can't wait to get there.
Well, next week we play on a Saturday, and it's a day game, something new, but it is what we've been looking forward to. I believe it's at noon. Play the winner of the Springville Sand Rock in the north end of the state, rather. And it ought to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 6 games up there, all 6 of the classifications, and we're just happy to be there.
Yeah, Sand Rock won, so it will be us for Sand Rock.
That's great, Butch. Thanks again, and congratulations. We really look forward to it. This is something we've done 2 or 3 times, and we're ready to capitalize again.
Yeah, can't wait to get there. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Butch. Well, we really look forward to next week. We go to Birmingham SuperSix, and one of the hosts is a Luverne alumnus, John Williams. And John, good to have you down here, and we really look forward to next week.
Thank you. It's going to be a great weekend. I tell you, last year was just unbelievable, and this year lining up to be even better. It is really a super weekend, and Saturday is the premier day, and the 2A championships at noon, so we're going to be prime time. It'll be perfect.
What can we look forward to? I understand Sandrock won the game, so we will be playing them. Butch just told me that. Tell me some of the things that go on. I know it's a great weekend beginning at Thursday and going through Saturday.
That's right. It does. The 6A is Thursday night, along with the 1A that afternoon. Then on Friday is the 2A and the 3A and the 4A, and then on Saturday we have the 2A at noon, and then 3 o'clock is the 5A. But it is really, the kids. You're playing on Legion Field where Alabama and Auburn have played for years. They dress in the same locker.
State